Welcome to the final video of the year as we're getting ready to dive into the deep end of our F1 1975 mini-season in Automobilista 2. After our last race at the Nürburgring, we stay in a German-speaking country, or at least what they consider German-speaking. I'm only joking, of course, as we're getting ready for the Austrian Grand Prix in Spielberg at the Österreichring. Naturally, our driver of choice is home hero Niki Lauda in the mighty V12 Ferrari, although that V12 has let him down massively lately, as Lauda, after winning in the opening race in Argentina, has been let down by his Ferrari and only finished in the points, or finished at all, scarcely. Pressure is high on us as we almost need to win to keep Lauda in the championship running in what, in contrast to his actual 1975, has been a dreadful season so far. And here is the starting grid for today's race. Jochen Maes starts ahead of Claire Regazzoni and Emerson Fittipaldi. We start in P4, and then we have James Hunt, Carlos Reutemann, Jody Scheckter, Depailler, Pace, Jarier, Price, Peterson, Brambilla, Dave Charlton, Jackie Higgs, Mark Donoghue, Mario Andretti, Graham Hill, Wilson Fittipaldi, Rolf Stommelen, Chris Amon, Arturo Besario, Guy Tunmer, Bob Evans, Lala Lombardi and Eddie Kazan. And here we are on the grid at a very, very wet Österreichring, and it's lights out and away we go, and well, away we don't rather, because we have a lot of wheel spin there on the wet track. And oh, Depailler has already moved past Tom Price now side by side with Price and Depailler. We go through turn 1. It works okay though. Now, as we're running, we're a little early on the brakes and Tom Price moves past ourselves, but we really need to find our rhythm here in these very difficult conditions, as they were in 1975, a very wet race back in the day. Oh, Depailler not the best of exits out of the Dr. Tyrrell Kurve, so we move past the Tyrrell. But now he has another look down our inside. You can see in our right hand mirror, sliding towards the Bosch Kurve, heavily sliding towards it. Get it stopped in time though. And oh, Carlos Pace runs right there in his Brabham. Bit of a disappointing starting position here for him. Currently sitting in third in the championship. Well, a bit of a slide there, and Depailler already moved past once again. These are very, very difficult conditions here today. Well, Depailler, well, I don't know if you can call it a switchback, because that would imply that it was on purpose, and everyone is just sliding around massively on the track. Oh, Pace slams the door on us, just as we wanted to have a little look there. And now this is another opportunity for Depailler into the Jochen Rindt Kurve, the final corner that is coming up here. Oh, this is really difficult, this corner. It really started to slide there, and then it goes downhill, and you can't really do much against your car getting faster and faster. And this is actually how we enter lap 2. Fittipaldi has already taken the race lead from third on the grid, and we are sitting in 8th, so 2 places away from the point scoring positions. But as I said, we need a lot of points to stay in the championship fight. And here is the replay of the start of Emerson Fittipaldi. Yeah, and it has been a wonderful start for Jochen Maes. He already is pulling away in the number 2 McLaren. And yeah, Claire Regazzoni, our teammate, also did not have the greatest start on the right hand side of the grid. So yeah, Fittipaldi already passed him, as in the background he's defending from Reutemann and Hunt, that is Claire Regazzoni. And Fittipaldi, look at that, already side by side with his teammate, the championship leader. Only in turn 2 already making a move for the race lead. And as it seems, that actually worked. And this is the reigning champion in the race lead here in Austria. and with the luxury of a bit of yeah, human shield behind him with Jochen Maas, who will be defending for his teammate if they choose to play it as a team. And look, as we are just back on board with ourselves, look at the visibility. It is horrible. You can't really see how many cars are ahead of us there. You just see the back of that one car that I presume is Jody Scheckter. Yeah, indeed, as Jody Scheckter pushes our teammate wide. Oh, it's a terrible race for Clay Regazzoni as well, who just dropped out of the points. Scheckter up into 6th. Regazzoni still side by side. They go towards the Bosch curve, and we back out of it as we're still not too confident here in these conditions. Regazzoni slides wide through the Bosch curve. We take the opportunity and move up another spot. Now we are keeping him behind. Look at that. You can't even see that the car is there. It is horrible in terms of visibility. But no safety cars, no red flags back in the day. We carry on. Actually, the 1975 race at the Österreichring was eventually brought to a stop just past halfway because of these conditions. And the winner was Vittorio Brambilla in the March, and you surely have seen the clip of him spinning into the wall just as he made it across the line for his one and only Grand Prix victory in his March. As, oh, Jody Scheckter running a little wide out of the final corner, but we are not able to use that to our advantage, partly because, well, we had to leave the racing line, and it's even wetter off the racing line, so no chance to get any sort of traction out of there. And I have to admit that this layout I'm not really familiar with. I think Clay Regazzoni just had a little look down her inside. We managed to stay ahead. Yeah, I have to admit that I'm not even that familiar with that layout. Rarely used it. Yeah, so these conditions and these poor visibility conditions, well, they don't really help becoming confident on this track, but yeah, well, we'll have to manage, and so far we are at least still on the road, which is, well, more than I expected, honestly. Oh, having a little look there out of the Bosch curve against Scheckter, who had such a disappointing season. Now he finally is running in the points once again, but he's been let down by his Tyrrell almost the entire season long, still without a single point. Maybe his fate changes here at Spielberg. Now he's a bit slow. We could go faster through that bit, but I'm not really able to find a bit of track that we could use to go alongside him. This track would actually be a super fast and flowing one, but yeah, you can't really get that. Once again, out of the final corner, we get the better exit, or we can carry much more speed towards the exit, but then we have to go to the inside of the track, or to the right-hand side of the track, rather, and yeah. Oh, into turn 1, late on the brakes. It's a very flowing corner. This time we get the better traction, but once again we are on the far wetter stuff, and we can't really get the power down therefore. So Scheckter stays ahead, and yeah, difficult to pass in these conditions, because as soon as you leave the racing line, as I said, and as you've seen on the start-finish straight, and even after turn 1, but now once again better traction, once again Scheckter on the better bit of road. Yeah, as soon as you leave the racing line, getting the power down becomes such a treacherous affair that, yeah, you have to be careful not to spin out. Boschkurve also has been a bit of a opportunity for us throughout this race. Oh, and now he slides a bit wide. And this is our opportunity, and we finally move past the South African. And we have to block him a little bit. Look at our left-hand mirror. He's still there. He's trying it down the inside. But this time we have the racing line and the better bit of road. Later on the brakes, and past Jody Scheckter. Continuing on, it is still raining, and it will rain throughout the race. There is a chance that it gets a little less dramatic in the later stages, as we have arrived at James Hunt, Niki Lauda's big rival in that famous 1976 season, but we're still in 1975, and this is lap 9 that we've started. These are the top 6. Jochen Mass dropped down to 3rd. Carlos Reutemann is now 2nd. Top 2 of the championship, also the top 2 in this race, and we want to get there to close the gap points-wise to these top 2 in the championship. But for now, the first thing is moving past our future rival James Hunt, still in the Hesketh here. Also, a bit of a difficult season for him so far. Pace-wise, the Hesketh is a great car, but a lot of DNFs, a lot of technical issues on his car as well, not the most reliable one. Boschkurve, this is where we passed Regazzoni and Scheckter. Oh, and he leaves us the room. They also are all choosing a wider line through there, but that doesn't really work in these conditions, at least that is my impression. But now, he's trying it around the outside. We defend the inside, but therefore we are on the far wet stuff, but far wetter stuff. And we slide off the road into the grass. At least we don't lose a spot, but we have lost a big chunk of time there. But no problem, a few laps later, we're now really fast in these conditions. We're getting more and more confident. And out of the Jochen Rindt-Kurve, we move past James Hunt, but he is getting a good run now on us towards turn 1. Who is later on the brakes? We are, but it's a really flowing corner, so you can't really gain much on the brakes. But acceleration out of the corner, it works well, and then once again we spin on the wet patch of this track, almost spin, losing control of the car, once again riding through the grass, and once again losing time, though not as much as we did before. And I believe maybe at the end of the next lap we will be close to Hunt once again, and, well, that actually was the case. We are looking at that rear wing of the Hesketh, and this time we're trying it at a very different spot. Over the Reifeisenhügel we go. Oh, Hunt still manages to hold on to it. We are running in 6th, so in the points finally, as we've seen. Last time we looked at the standings. But we need more points. Another spot. We can go faster than anyone here, so everything is still possible in this race. We just need to move past all of these cars. It's just 5 cars to go and we would be in the race lead. I believe we could even win this race. As, oh, late on the brakes, almost sliding into the rear of James Hunt. Well, just in time we managed to still slip through. I think he's seen us coming. And we're up into P5 now. And the opportunity for another spot to gain is still there. The sun is starting to come through a bit. It is still raining, though less intensely than at the beginning of the race, for example. And we're just behind Jochen Mass and Carlos Pace. If we move past these two, we are already on the podium and can start the hunt of Carlos Reutemann and Emerson Fittipaldi. But for now, let's just focus on these two cars ahead that are in a battle of their own. Jochen Mass from pole position, a surprise pole position. Very strong performance here for the German in the McLaren. Now he is dropping down the order, not the best of exits out of the Bosch Kurve, and he moves lost another spot, and we move up another one. This is really our favorite spot here on the track. And now we're just behind the Brabham of Carlos Pace. This is for P3, the top 3 in the championship, also the top 3 in this race in exactly the championship order. Fittipaldi, Mass, Reutemann, Pace. And oh, this is where we tried it against James Hunt a lap earlier, but then issues once again getting the power down. But oh, this isn't even a bad exit, and into the Jochen Rindt curve. We tried to be later on the brakes, but we slide, and now it's going downhill. We can't get the car slowed down, and we touch the wall. It's not a heavy impact, but oh, we're just sliding along the wall. We can't get away from it because the track is going downhill at that bit, and oh no, that is terrible. And oh, we even missed the pit entry there. Yeah, we're having some damage. I think it is easy to get that repaired, but we have to go around the entire track to get that fixed, and it is not the shortest of laps here in these conditions. Yeah, it's 150, high 40 lap times, and now with a slightly damaged car, this will be a bit of an issue. But let's look at how it happened once again, as we are already looking at that replay. Here we are side by side going into the final corner. I think, yeah, it's just that little bit too late on the brakes, and yeah, the elevation then doing the rest for us, making it difficult to slow down when you're in the corner, so you have to get slowed down before it, because gravity will drag you down in the mud as it did for us. And we get our car fixed. It's a very long pit stop as per usual for this era, and we are 23.4 seconds behind Depaille. We are running in 11th now, and this will now be a very tough job. But we have caught up with Depaille after, well, it was about 7-8 laps, so we are actually pretty damn quick now, as the track is starting to get a bit drier. The rain has decreased. It is just a bit of light rain now. Not more water coming down than these cars are, well, getting pushed off. As a lapped car now trying to make a move against us, as we had a poor exit there. But now, through the Jochen Rindt curve, a good run on Depaille. He almost moves out of the way as if he was a lapped car. Well, but now he's going for it. Down our inside, Depaille is still there, as is the car we've lapped before. I think it was an Embassy Hill car. But now we are past Depaille for good and up into P10. But points will be a difficult prospect. This is now lap 24. This is the current running order, as we are looking at Carlos Pace running in third. Also third in the championship, as I've said before. But he looks very slow right now, with just 2.5 laps to go. Yeah, there you can see it. It's still raining pretty intensely though. Might even have increased the rain. And oh, Pace stops on track with just 2.5 laps to go. This is terrible news for Brabham and terrible news for Pace, who drops out of the podium positions. What a shame for him. And yeah, we therefore also move up to P9, and we're just behind the two Lotuses, which would be ultimately a battle for 7th. But points, well, I don't think we can get points, or at least 1 point. Yeah, if not another DNF happens for these top 6. Now round the outside of Ronnie Peterson out of the final corner. And now it's just 3 laps to go for us. Yeah, Pace retired with 3.5 laps to go, so this is just past Pace's retirement. Sorry for the confusion as Peterson slams the door on us there. But we were still sliding, a bit of contact there. We moved past the Swede in not the cleanest fashion, but now, well, we're past one Lotus and just another one is ahead of us. And that means that also Lotus point scoring streak will come to an end as Jackie Hicks just running in P7, and I feel that we can go a lot faster than him. So now the outdated Lotus once again taking the toll on what is a brilliant driver pairing, as we have a little look down Boschkove's exit. Oh, he had the racing line up there, the drier patch of road. So we have to make it at a different spot. There we are, having a little look over the Reifeisenhügel that is coming up. Once again, side by side. This is where it went very wrong when we were side by side with Pace. We tried once again, this time on a drier track. Here it is pretty dry on that part of the road. And we move past the Belgian and up into P7. Let's see if he can get a slipstream and another opportunity up the hill to turn 1. There's still puddles on the main straight though. Well, no chance for Jackie Hicks, as we're looking at our race leader, Emerson Fittipaldi, who's just ahead of Mark Donoghue in the Penske. But don't worry, he's a lap down. Emerson Fittipaldi has not looked back since lap 1. Since he took the lead, there is Carlos Reutemann in second. Emerson Fittipaldi, though, the championship leader and reigning champ, increases his lead as he wins the Austrian Grand Prix. Congratulations to Emo. And here are our point scorers for today's race. Fittipaldi, Reutemann, Maas finishes on the podium for McLaren. Good race for the number 2 McLaren. James Hunt, finally, a decent result here in 4th. Scheckter with the first points of the season in 5th. And Regazzoni takes at least 1 point for a struggling Ferrari. Here is the top 10 of the Drivers' Championship after 6 out of 8 races. Emerson Fittipaldi increases his lead over Carlos Reutemann. Carlos Pace failed to score points today due to a late retirement. Clay Regazzoni then in 4th. And then we have Hicks, Lauda, Maas, Hunt up into 8th, Andretti and Depailler. And for the Constructors' Championship, Brabham's lead over McLaren has shrunk. And Ferrari, well, 20 points down from the lead in 3rd. Lotus still in 4th. Tyrrell moves up to 5th, equal on points with Hesketh. Panelli dropped down to 7th. And then we have Shadow, Penske and Embassy Hill. These are all the point scoring constructors so far. And yeah, that has been it for today's video. I wish you all a happy new year. See you on the other side. And yeah, the 1975 season here will of course continue next year. The next race will be the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. So yeah, tune in to not miss that. Subscribe to yeah, not miss any other video on this channel. And well, I hope to see you all there. Until then, goodbye.